So video 4, quick blurb on testing. I know a lot of people are saying we need more testing. Others are like, well, it won't help at this point. Like, there's a lot of, and to be honest, there's so much speculation. It would have helped drastically early on to help surveillance know where it is, know the patients, quarantine them, shut it down. That's what China did. That's what South Korea did. Mind you, we're never going to be like South Korea. They've experienced SARS, MERS. They knew how to shut things down. But we could have done much better surveillance. Now it's everywhere. We don't have to know where it is necessarily. Every big city has it now. So now it's not about finding out what cities have it. It's about once you have the symptoms, once you're worried about it, stay home. 80% of people recover at home. I know it will be scary. I know it will be rough. Stay home. Don't go anywhere where you might make someone sick. When you start to feel better and you think you had it, be no symptoms for days before you're willing to go. Send someone else, have some people bring stuff to your door. Don't even think about going to shopping within a week of having these symptoms. Just don't. Just stay home. What else was I going to say here? But the testing, It's complicated now, though, now that we know so many people have it. So everyone's coming in and saying, hey, I want it. I feel like I maybe have a little cough. I'm not sure. And a lot of times we'll miss it. If you have a little cough or early in disease, it will miss it. It will give you a false sense of security that you don't have it, and then you go around your normal life going to stores and stuff. It's best to, if you think you might have it, just stay home and see if something's developing, and if it's not, you can go back out. But a false negative, in other words, it says it's negative, but you actually have it if you try to do it too early, could really be actually more devastating. Secondly, if you get a test today and it says you don't have it, there's nothing to say you don't go out tomorrow, hug a number of friends, and get it right then. And you'll think that I didn't have it. But now if you've exposed yourself to it, you could get it. So multiple reasons why, if you're asymptomatic or minimally symptomatic, it's not necessary to get. If you think you might have some symptoms, just stay home. Don't be around people that you could get sick. There's just some caveats. Healthcare workers needing it earlier just to be able to know, can I maybe go back to work? I'm going to take my temperature every day. We need this on the front lines. We will all be needed on the front lines. Healthcare workers will be. So that can make things a little different. But overall, I would say testing isn't as important right now unless you're inpatient, so we know to do the right precautions, the N95 masks or droplet masks that we're talking about now. So inpatient, very important. Healthcare workers, so they're not spreading to people, very important. But other people, just stay home. It's not as important. Once we get far into the disease and it's really coming down and we hardly have any left, then it will be important again. Then we'll know if small cases pop up here and there and we can tamp them down right away. So very good early on for surveillance. Very good in the middle for those in the hospitals that we know we need to figure out if we need to quarantine them in the hospital, and then very important for those for surveillance later on. But for the vast majority of people now who are in the middle symptomatic, it just won't be as helpful. So I think it's a lot more important to track hospitalizations and deaths, because that actually is a surrogate marker of how many cases. So just actually finding out how many cases we're ramping up now won't be as important as actually seeing the consequences of it. So that's my take on it. A lot of people are going to have different takes on it. So that's a personal take on it. But I feel pretty strongly that there's very good benefits to it in some ways, but not in other ways as much as we would think. So thank you. That's a quick one. Let's go on to the next one, which is actually what we can do.